All right, so this is the first interview with Cassie Estrada. Um, so the first question I have is, how do you define yourself ethnically?
I define myself as a Mexican American.
Okay, does this vary depending on who you're speaking to?
Wait, what'd you say?
Does this vary depending on who you're speaking to?
Not yet. I feel like if I'm already in America, everyone kind of knows I'm American. So I just say I'm Mexican.
So do you say like so if like a white American were to ask you what your ethnicity is, would you answer American, Mexican, or Mexican American?
Well, usually I would just say Hispanic because most people really understand. So, and then they're like, oh, you're Hispanic? Like, well, I'm Mexican.
Right.
Specifically.
Do you have any preference or more pride in either ethnicity, either identification?
I guess it kind of depends on the day.
On the day?
Yeah, if it's the 4th of July, you're going to feel more American than Mexican.
True, very true.
It kind of depends also where I am, because if I'm in a little village and people are speaking Spanish around me and they're eating elotes on the corner, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm Mexican too.
Right, so it's kind of about like making sure that you're comfortable and so are the people that you're surrounded by. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, what do you notice or believe is different about your personal American experience compared to someone who is white American or an immigrant?
Well, I don't know. I think as a first generation child, like from my dad's side, I feel a little more obligated to connect with my Hispanic roots. I feel like I am obligated to know Spanish and know how to cook and do all these things, which I really know none of.
Right.
So I feel like I have more obligation to a Hispanic family, because Hispanic, especially my family, is really old school, really traditional, and has to do.
Right.
Has to
So
do all these.
you have more cultural obligations, like compared to a white American who is, well, I feel there's more traditional values, but it's not something that is.
Especially growing up and going to schools that are always in the suburbs and always kind of going around. Typically white families. I feel like what they feel like they let their kids stay out till like 12 o'clock, and they're just like, oh, whatever. I just always felt like they were more open to ideas, where my parents were giving me a 9 o'clock curfew until I was like 16. So.
Right. Do you think this would be different if you were not born here, if you had just come here as an immigrant?
Wait, what you think?
Do you think this experience would be different if you weren't born here, if you were an immigrant?
Well, yeah, I think if my dad was born here and my mom was born here, and she's the one that's more open to me doing things and more open to me trying new things and I guess getting dinner or whatever.
Okay.
But my dad's the one that really pushes the whole.
Oh, so you kind of see firsthand at home how the two kind of differ. Your mom being born here and your dad not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I told you about what a cultural binary was. Do you think this has benefited you, or has it created problems, or both?
Well, actually, what you told me, I really didn't understand.
The cultural binary? It's okay. So, like, a binary is just any two opposing cultures. So, it could be being rich, being poor, or being, in this case, being Mexican and being American. So, like, so that exists because you are Mexican American. Do you think that having this binary has benefited you? Can you think of any instances in which it benefited you or just created problems?
Well, when I think of how it's benefited me, I think of when I was applying to colleges and how people are looking for more diversity, and
Right.
I have that diversity.
Mm-hmm. So you're
So I think
kind
that's beneficial.
yeah. No, that makes sense. So you're kind of like, you want to reap the benefits that you do have of being Mexican.
Well, I feel like I have, I don't know, like a different connection. Like being both American and Mexican, I have like a little set way. If I'm getting tired of eating burgers and French fries, I always have my tacos and whatever. I really like having two different cultures. Like growing up in America, but with a hardcore Mexican family, then feel like I have more of an advantage to other people because I can experience more and I get that diversity.
The best of both worlds there.
Yeah.
All right. What do you notice about representation or the misrepresentation of Latinos on TV? So, like through shows or movies.
Well, the first thing I think of was for like showing how Mexicans are on TV or novelas.
Right.
Oh my goodness, that was a mess.
A mess.
Those shows, everyone's over dramatic and everyone's animal. And then they portray Mexicans as really loud and really obnoxious and kind of like, I don't know. Those are soap operas and those are supposed to be over dramatic. But I'm thinking about other TV shows and other movies. I think of Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon, vote for Pedro, yeah.
I think of Pedro and how he has the typical Mexican name.
Right.
And then he has didn't he have a piñata or something?
Yeah. So it's funny that the first thing that came to mind. Well, first of all, I feel like it was a little difficult to even come up with these examples of Latinos on TV. But that's funny that the one that you did recall was one in which it was based on stereotypes. Yeah. All right.
How do I feel about it?
No, I was commenting on that. So my next question is: have you or do you currently find yourself identifying with these characters, either negatively or positively?
Well, even for my 18th birthday, I still have a piñata.
So you did kind of see like, oh, maybe that is true. We do have piñatas for birthday parties.
Yeah, for your typical birthday party, you have the whole family there barbecuing at the cars, and cake in your face. I've been doing that every year since I was 1, so I guess it's kind of true. But it's funny, and I'm not ashamed of it. People tell me like, oh, do you have piñatas? Do you do all this Mexican stuff? Like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So.
Right. So you accept it, and you see that some of the representations that they do show on TV, there is some validity behind them.
Yeah, because then it can also they make it look like really, really Mexican, but it also shows like other people like, hey, Mexican people do that stuff, and they kind of make it look a little. It's like, all right, calm down there. But
does that ever bother you when you do see these like stereotypes on TV?
Well, I think that, they don't really, I've never really been super offended by a TV show or a movie with, Mexican stuff, but I've seen, other races that portray those differently. But with Hispanics, I feel like since there's so many, Hispanic population is growing so much that if they want to be offensive, they're probably going to have to do with a lot more crap.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's less, filters now on TV. I guess it's kind of like a free-for-all. Okay. What about, so that's with Mexican or Latino characters on TV. Um,